Trish, Monday, May 17th, a beautiful Monday it is, and we are on Psalm 144 this evening. You will remember that the Psalms in this last part of the book of Psalms, book 5, and that's what we're on, heading toward the end. Many of these Psalms were believed to have been written after the Israelite people came out of exile to Babylon. After the Babylonian exile, they had been returned to their land, to their home. And so many of these psalms are psalms of joy and praise and thankfulness. And many of them are also psalms that look backwards to remember all that God has done for us. This psalm is no exception. As we move into this psalm toward the end, beginning with verse 12 and 13 and 14, it talks about, it describes what the people of God, what their life might be like, asks for that to be. You'll hear it. Our sons to be in their prime, like sturdy oak trees, daughters shapely and bright as fields of wildflowers, thousands of flock on the hills, filled barns, those kinds of things. And so, what I want you to do, if you don't mind, for just a few minutes, is imagine what what that world might look like for you when everything would be ideal. Um, Everything would be perfect. Maybe think about it as when Christ has come again. What is that world that you might hope for? What might it look like? And at the same time, what are the blessings that you already have in this world today? Even when our circumstances are never perfect, far from ideal, what are the blessings that you still have? I was visiting with one of our members earlier today and talking about that, and we were talking about how it's when we look backwards, right, that we realize all that God has done for us and the ways in which God has blessed us. And you hear that in this poem as well, looking back to what God has done and then asking for God's continued presence into the future. So I invite you for just a moment or two, if you're watching this at a later time, just pause and stop and think for a few moments. What does that look like for you? And then the last piece, our last verse that you will hear in this psalm, I'm reading actually tonight from the Message translation. So that's that paraphrased, very modern translation by Eugene Peterson. And so he says how blessed. Many other translations say how happy are the people, or how content are the people who have all this, who have God as their God. Happy, content, blessed. Another place where I'd invite you to pause and consider which word has the most meaning for you. I really like that understanding of content. Again, everything doesn't have to be wonderful, beautiful. It doesn't even need to be joyful, but to be content. Um, to be content is a great, great gift, I think. So this is Psalm 144. Blessed be God, my mountain, who trains me to fight fair and well. He's the bedrock on which I stand, the castle in which I live, my rescuing knight, the high crag where I run for dear life, while he lays my enemies low. I wonder why you care, God. Why do you bother with us at all? All we are is a puff of air. We're like shadows in a campfire. Step down out of heaven, God. Ignite volcanoes in the hearts of the mountains. Hurl your lightning in every direction. Shoot your arrows this way and that. Reach all the way from sky to sea. Pull me out of the ocean of hate, out of the grip of those barbarians who lie through their teeth, who shake your hand, then knife you in the back. Oh God, let me sing a new song to you. Let me play it on a 12-string guitar, a song to the God who saved the king, the God who rescued David, his servant. Rescue me from the enemy's sword. Release me from the grip of those barbarians who lie through their teeth, who shake your hand, then knife you in the back. Make our sons in their prime like sturdy oak trees, our daughters as shapely and bright as fields of wildflowers. Fill our barns with great harvest. Fill our fields with huge flocks. Protect us from invasion and exile. Eliminate the crime in our streets. How blessed or content the people who have all this. How blessed or content or happy the people who have God for God. Amen to that. Have a good rest of the evening. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again on Thursday.